World today, I'm going to show you how we herd the ducks. Well, or I herd the ducks, I should say. First, we open the coop. You see a bunch of chickens in there. They're perched. They're ready to go. Nighttime's coming. Happy as can be. No. Well, here we go. Let's go down here and we will go get the ducks. Now, if I spin this around quick, you can see they are just chilling, hanging out in the pond, having a great old time. Come on, girls. It's time to go to bed. What are we going to do? I have a hoe. Hoe always helps out. And all you have to do is just give them a little spook. Very slow. You usually don't have to stir them up too much. Come on, girls. My wife usually helps this, but we'll see. They're kind of learning the drill. Come on, girls. Where are we going to go? And you don't want to spook them too much. Scare them a little bit. And they'll go pretty much where you need them to go. Alright, girls. Now these are Khacki campbells. Relatively quiet ducks. And I'm walking at a pretty quick speed. Just enough to keep them moving. Look at that. They know about where they want to go. Stand back. Go ahead, girl. You'll figure it out. Meanwhile, the chicks are still sitting in their spot. Just like that. No effort. No yelling, no screaming, no, come on, get the hell in there. Nope, piece of cake. They didn't even get ruffled. They're happy. They got to play in their pond all day. And it didn't take long. Just a couple days and they learned the routine of what to do, how to do this. They're very happy ducks. Come in. They've been eating pond goop all day, which is great. They're making our pond awesome. And they're getting the extra nutrients they need. Meanwhile, the little chicks are growing. And as soon as we get some leaves on the trees, we can let the chicks out. We kind of worry about eagles getting them and other birds of prey that are in the area. The ducks, however, are a little bigger. They kind of cluster together and look a little more intimidating on the pond. But needless to say, they're happy as can be. Now, they're a little over a month old, maybe 5 weeks old. And I pretty much have to start cutting their wings at this point. All I'm going to have to do is take a couple snips off the one side of their leading edge of their wing feathers, I should say. This way, when they try to fly, they kind of fly in an arc instead of straight, and that'll intimidate them enough that they won't try to leave. And last year we had ducks, and one of them decided to be up and out of here, and, well, he was a good little guy. Needless to say, this time we'll cut their wings. But overall, we have 8 chickens and 4 ducks, and they're doing very well together. They're happy as can be. The ducks like to make a huge mess, so what we did is we used a Christmas tree base. So, you know, as they splash and make water everywhere, it at least catches that. The rest becomes poop and fertilizer, and it's all wood chips and hay and whatever. Needless to say, we'll keep adding more and more as they grow up. Pretty soon, the chicks will be outside, and they're going to be eating all the ticks and all the other bugs as well while the ducks are out there. But I would say, go out and get yourself some ducks and chickens. They're very easy to have. God, we got these guys at Tractor Supply. Chicks, there's 3 different kinds of little baby chickens in here, and like I said, the ducks are Khacki campbells. They're all happy. They get along very well. You do need to be aware, however, that the ducks will make a mess, and if you don't have enough volume and enough room, they will make too much moisture. You can see this is pretty wet right here. Luckily, if they want, they can get over here and it's relatively dry, and there's dry wood chips, so the chickens can get away from the moisture. If they sit in too much moisture and humidity, they can get sick and rot, and, well, I don't know if the chickens will rot, but at least it's a potential for infection because it's so moist and humid. They need a drier environment. The ducks, on the other hand, they want it wet all the time, and they splash and make a big old mess. So you have to be ready for that. You have to account for that. I mean, this many birds, as soon as they get bigger, they're going to have to be outside more. They'll be able to be in here at night together. That's about it. Everything else, it's going to be too much to handle this particular volume. But I'm sure out of all this, we're going to end up with a rooster somewhere in there, so that knocks one bird out of there. I'm sure something else will have another one. So, needless to say, follow along, go get yourself some birds, and they're very easy and they're a lot of fun. The ducks, And they get all riled up when you come in there. Hey, hey, hey. It's funny when you spook them outside. A couple of the chicks get spooked in there and go with them. And you try to herd them back inside. Khacki Campbells. One reason you want them, that's about as much noise as they make. They talk to each other a little bit with some peeps, and other than that, simple. Piece of cake birds. They make a mess and they eat a lot. But other than that, they're quiet, and it's one of the reasons you want them. And they don't look as stupid as those Muscovy ducks. They have the really funny, weird growths on their nose. However, Muscovies eat a lot of flies, which kind of got me into the ducks in the first place, because we had pigs, and we figured, well, with the flies around here eating all the pig poop, maybe we should get some ducks to eat the flies. One hand washes another, basically. Didn't really have too much of an issue with the flies. All the poop made it into the garden, fertilized all the plants. And, well, we still got ducks. And the girls, they wanted prettier ducks than Muscovies. So, go get some. Follow along. Mr. Brian's Amazing World will show you what the rest of them can do. And, I mean, we're going to have a ton of eggs when these guys start laying, hopefully. It'll take a couple months. But, we do have predator problems around here. We've lost quite a few flocks of chickens, if you will, to all kinds of predators, from bears to coyotes to dogs to little weasels. Now, we had the doorknob hole on the deadbolt, which is this big around. Something went through there and vampired all my chickens. There was about 8 of them in there that got the blood sucked out of them that night, and that was the end of those. Kind of a sad morning, harsh reality that you need to make sure you have holes this big around covered so nothing can get in there, depending on where you are. I mean, I'm right on the edge of the woods, so it's kind of a smorgasbord of wonderful food for these bits of wildlife to come in here and take their pick. All right, fresh duck and chicken. But we've gotten lots of eggs from the previous ones, and we've got some roosters, and we've even had to butcher some roosters, which, check out our other videos. We do butcher the rooster on the other video, which is great. We show you how to do it so you don't have to actually deal with gutting it and defeathering it, which is awesome because nobody wants to do that. Just cut the parts you really need. These birds are small. There's not a lot of meat on them to begin with, but they're definitely worth having. And look at how calm these ducks are. I'm 3 feet away from them, and they're just watching me, hanging out, getting used to me. They're still spooked. As soon as I move, they'll get riled up a little more. They don't know what to expect. But overall, you grab one. Hey! They calm down. I can feel its heart beating. It's pounding. He's scared. Or she's scared. Hi! You alright? Oh, the ducks all took off. Oh boy, now I messed it all up. They were all good. They were all in there and they took off over to the pond. Wait till you see this. Boy, I guess maybe that was not such a good move. But there they are. They're back in the pond. All right, let's try this again. Come on, girls. Back in you go. And again, I use a hoe. It works awesome. And I would never hit them, but all you gotta do is make a little bit of ruffle. And they're like, hey, I don't want to bother with this. Now, mind you, I'm 15 feet behind them. And they're terrified at the moment. They think I'm gonna eat them. Not really. Maybe. Just enough. Meanwhile, the other one's coming out. Going, hey, 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 what's going on here? Again, you can see how hard this is to herd them. You just have to stand back and let them do their thing. All the birds are in. I didn't worry about any of them getting out, even though the door was open and they came out. They're birds of a feather. They flock together. There's a reason for that. Use that analogy to your ability to get them to stay together. If the chicks come out, they all hear each other peeping and they want to come together. And the one will find its way back in. Same with the ducks. One was inside, 3 were out. The one started to find the others found it and came back inside. Piece of cake. They're a lot of fun. And as long as you don't let yourself get overwhelmed with them, they want to be in here. It's getting darker out. It's nighttime. They want to roost. I don't know, at the beginning of the video you saw a bunch of chicks up on the various sticks. They want to be high up, and I'm going to add more and more so they're really high up. Just in case a predator comes in here, maybe they won't be able to reach them. But they want that ability. They want to come in here. They want to be together. use that to your advantage. So you learn how to herd them. All animals are kind of like that. And come to learn that yelling and screaming at anything doesn't mean they're going to listen to you. They're going to be more afraid of you than anything. And using a hoe, it's just to make me look bigger so I can extend my arms. Not that I'm going to bang them or hit them with it. It's just I look bigger and can reach further to make myself push them around where I need them to go. But overall, chickens and ducks, piece of cake. I mean, you saw me herd them in here, you saw them get out, and me herd them in again without even thinking about it. Go get them. Go have a good time. Check out our other videos. Mr. Brian's Amazing World. Thank you. Have a great day. Stay safe and be careful, everyone. And plan for your future. And how are you going to feed your family? What are you going to do? Do it now.